Lucky Boys Podcast.
Real life interaction, not
Real life
versus virtual.
Like a virtual teleconferencing over Teams, Zoom, whatever is not the same as being in person.
Nothing beats in person, physical.
Like we've had a couple of Zoom sessions, we've had Hangout sessions.
Yeah.
It's just not the same.
Yeah,
It's just so easy to just do other things as well. Your attention's not fully. Your attention's divided.
For me, the first Zoom online happy hour, that was kind of cool because it was the first time. And then every other time I just had no interest. So when my friends, like you guys or anyone else wanted to say like, hey, let's do an online meetup or let's have a happy hour, I would always be like, obviously because I wasn't there for those, but it was just to me, after the first one was cool. But I could picture the second, third, fourth, fifth one kind of feeling lame.
Oh,
it gets really awkward.
like
You don't know when to like say goodbye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I don't mind the Zoom timer. 45 minutes. Oh, bye guys, I'm
You
out.
can't just kind of like ninja your way out. You gotta just like so you're kind of waiting for your. It's like jump roping. You're like double dutch. You're waiting for your moment to jump in, so you can kind of go. All right, guys. Yeah, I have to go do something.
Like the last 20 minutes of every Zoom call, it's like everyone looking at you just like, who's gonna be first to leave? Who's gonna be first to leave? It's like, okay, someone left. I can go now.
Yeah, I feel like it has to have a purpose. Like if you're going on a virtual like hangout, it has to have a purpose. It can't just be like, yo, let's just come on and just like chit chat,
No.
You can catch up, but then I feel like when we were doing it, we were doing like board games.
Yeah.
And that was fun. And when we got sick of it, we were just like, okay, it's time to go, this is our last game. And that didn't really make it too awkward. But then if you're jumping on, having a conversation, and all of a sudden like, conversation goes dry, and then it's like, oh man, I have dinner. I gotta cook. I gotta get out of here.
Well, I'm glad that it looks like people are beginning to reappear into society and being reintroduced. Just yesterday over in St. Mark's Place over in New York City, East Village. As you guys know, there's still no dining in restaurants or bars. So you see a lot of people outside drinking. And yesterday was a gorgeous day. And St. Mark's had hundreds of people on that block, on that stretch, right there between 2nd and 3rd Avenue and 8th Street. It was just packed, shoulder to shoulder people. It looked like a block party. People outside drinking, hanging out,
no one cared
conversating.
About social
No, man, completely. You know what?
Down.
Dude, just think about it. I mean, it goes to what we were talking about before, right? It's like the weather's fucking nice. People are hanging out. You're young, you feel healthy, you feel invincible, you get a sense of aura. You look at somebody else, they don't look scared, so you don't, everybody else just kind of hanging out. You have a couple of drinks in you. It's a couple of like hot looking people that, you're kind of eyeing, and you're having a conversation. You're going, you know what? Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
I've been pent up for 3 months. I'm tired of being scared. I'm done. I'm out here drinking. I'm living my best life right now. The weather's insanely nice out here. It's New York City, so we tend to appreciate the good weather just a bit more because we don't get sunny weather all the time. That's like a comfortable temperature
Exactly.
compared to a place like LA.
Yeah, and you want to get cooped up in the house because it's stuffy in the house too. Because with the weather now, it's getting warmer. Like my house is like unbearably hot. So I have to step out.
Turn on
just
the
to
AC.
relax.
I know people.
AC. I can't keep up on my
I
bill.
spoke with a couple of my friends on the other end. They're concerned. They're like, "What the heck, man? We did this quarantine for nothing.
You're ruining it for the rest of us.
You're ruining it, man. What the heck?" Because they're going. People don't care about social distancing. People don't care about masks. You got that other group, right? And that's still hyper anxiety. That's going, yo, are you people insane? And then you got the other group that's going, you know what? It's not as bad as we thought it was. We were convinced we did our jobs for 3 months and we took a step back and we reassessed it. And we're going, you know what? It's not that much more worse than the common flu.
Like, you can't live like that for a long term. It's not a solution. Like, I think a lot of people were mistaken that, we're going to be in quarantine until a vaccine is found. That was never supposed to be the case anyway. It was quarantine, control the levels, avoid the spikes, and to free up ICU hospital beds but it was never until a vaccine was found. And I feel like the curve has flattened. If anything, it might be decreasing. I haven't checked the numbers, but
They actually say it's increasing in some areas.
in states that reopened that without
Right.
proper measures.
Right.
We opened like willy-nilly, like
Yeah,
without
just like okay,
and a guy
open the floodgate. It's
Yeah.
like
Right, but
ripping off the
but are they
Band-Aid.
seeing a spike in cases because there are more tests available, or are they seeing a spike in cases where people are actually hospitalized and the hospitals are packed? That's what's not clear to me. I understand that obviously you test people, the odds are there's going to be several people that test positive, therefore increasing the report, the numbers. It's a numbers game, right? So the numbers are higher, but how many of those people that are confirmed are at a severe level of the virus where they need to go to the hospital?
Yeah, so it's too much burden on the hospital. But I think the metric that they're looking at right now is that they're looking at states that reopened, like Michael said, like reopened,
Texas.
right? Florida, Texas. These are states that really never had a plan, so they've just reopened, and you see that spike. But that's the only metric that I think they're looking at. They're not looking at like, oh, there's more testing available. That's why, we
Right.
showed the spike because of the testing.
Right. So we need to look at it on different sides of the report. We can't just go, because you could do that almost anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Right. You can
Yeah.
you can just increase testing in more areas and then create a narrative that's saying, oh, the numbers are up again. And then that'll be the headline and the people will just go crazy.
That's why I would say the proper number is ICU beds. How many's available? How many's free? And how at capacity are they? If they're not, then it's okay to, as New York is in phase 1 right now, and hopefully going to phase 2 by next month. I think also people are acclimating to it too, because the whole thing back in February, March, the wide fair it was such a big unknown. No one knew anything about it. It was a new disease.
We still don't know shit
We
about
we
this.
still don't know shit about it.
Yeah, that's true.
But we're more aware of the implications, I guess, of it and how to adapt with it.
You know, I thought with time we would learn more about this within the past 3 months. And what I've learned is that there's still things that we need to learn about this, because a lot of people still don't know, including doctors. Because if you look at some of the reports, a lot of them contradict each other.
Like the recent WHO reported, what was it said originally? Yes, you shouldn't wear
This
face
was
masks.
recent, yeah.
Then you need to wear face masks.
Right.
Now outdoors, asymptomatic might not be as transferable, but pre-symptomatic they still don't know about. So that was still kind of like the missed part in that.
Right.
whole
And then
report.
if you got the coronavirus, can you get it again?
we still don't
Well,
know.
what's that test?
The antibody test.
If they test you and you have the antibodies,
then
right,
you're mainly probably protected
are
from the current strain.
are you bulletproof? Right? Or you're not. So the way I see it, if this is anything like a common flu, so if I just because I got the flu last year does not guarantee that I'm not going to get the flu in the upcoming flu season. I'm still gonna need a flu shot or still take care of myself and
Yep.
avoid unhealthy people.
Well-
but the concern here is
Yep.
that some people think that a lot of people that I've spoken with think that if they have the antibodies, that they are somewhat
Immune.
have some type of invincibility to COVID-19. And I don't know, but I wouldn't be walking around like nothing could mess with me.
No, yeah, I think like still precautions need to take place, right? Like I agree with some of the people that you've talked to about, they're ruining it for the rest of us. I definitely feel like people still need to take precautions, not just like hang out and then not social distance, and just make make light of it because it's not over. We don't have a vaccine. The only thing we can do is make sure that we're still following some of the suggestions that were made to reduce the spread of this. Plus, knowing the fact that we don't overburden the hospitals because people will if people start getting sick again, the hospitals they won't be able to take it. So we have to keep that in mind. But I don't want to say like people shouldn't go out and hang out. Right now we're just like beautiful weather. I think we should take advantage of it because it's not gonna last long.
I have a confession.